after I came to know Jesus as my Lord and Savior, my heart changed immediately. It was like night and day. I couldn't get enough of the Bible. I was just getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to spend time with Him. And as my heart changed, the very first thing after receiving Him myself was thinking about the people in my family and that they needed Him. And I found myself praying for my family, but I also had been married twice before I accepted Christ. And I found myself praying for my ex-husband and his wife and his children. And suddenly, what the world would have said should not have been my family, the people that the world told me should have been my adversaries, they were my family. And He was changing my heart to such an extent that I was really praying for them and loving them and beginning to lift them up to Him. As time went on, my kids had the chance to be able to mentor them. And I always say that the best thing that you could ever be is a big arrow pointing to Christ. That's what I've tried to do with my children as I've raised them. Lo and behold, years later, I came and Keystone became my church family. And while I was here, I was having a conversation with my ex-husband's wife, Jen. And we always tried to be amiable and get along for my daughter Lauren's sake. But during this conversation, I realized that she was hungry and thirsty and that she was looking for the Lord. I felt that the church that she was going to was leaving her lacking, and she sounded really lost, and she sounded like she needed someone to direct her the way that she should go. I knew that Keystone was the kind of church where she was going to encounter God and His Word, and I invited her to come to prayer and praise. They lived really far away, and she brought the kids and she came that night, and they all loved it. My ex-husband didn't come right away, and they started coming once a month. Pretty soon I could see that she was just starting to come to life, and I suggested, well, you're already coming once a month, it's not that far, you're used to everything now, how about you come one Sunday a month? And so she started bringing the children twice a month. And before I knew it, they were all coming, and they were coming regularly, and they had chosen Keystone as their home church. Now, God wasn't done yet, because He really had changed my heart, and I really did love them. I was for their family. It was my family. It was my daughter's family. And what He did was He suggested that I talk to her about going through the journey. And I asked her, not knowing if that was going to be too strange, too much, and she said yes. Well, Jen and I ended up going through the journey together. We ended up sharing things with each other that I don't know I've really ever told anyone. And we became not what the world told us we were supposed to be. We're not, the world told us we were supposed to hate each other. We weren't supposed to like each other. We were rivals. Instead, we became sisters. Instead, we really loved each other, and people would meet us and have no idea who we were to each other and find out and just be floored. Well, God wasn't done yet. You know, we went on a mission trip together with my daughter to Malawi, and the three of us even showed the people in Africa. We were able to tell them what God does in lives. He restores things, and He redeems things, and He heals things and makes them whole. I guess the one thing I want people to understand is that God is bigger than broken families. God is bigger than whatever it is that you're facing. You never could have told me before I knew Jesus, before I knew that God was real and that He wanted to make my life complete and whole. You never could have told me that this was possible. I love my ex-husband. I love his wife. I love his children. We're all one family, and we all come to one church together. It's a pretty amazing story, and I get to be part of it.